Hello, beautiful, amazing, and gorgeous people. I'm Tiamara, and today I'm going to share 5 secrets with you about how to be gorgeous. And I'm going to begin with a story. A few years ago, I travelled the world for a whole year with a film crew, making a television reality documentary series called Inspiring Lives Global. And that series is all about making a difference in the developing world. So we travelled to China, India, Jordan, Colombia, Ecuador, and South Africa, and did 10 projects. They were transformational, on-the-ground community projects that really made a difference in the world. And I was producer, presenter, and writer for that show. And that meant that I was responsible for all of the organisation. And you can imagine, for a year, and we're going to all these different countries, I had to organise the accommodation, the food, I had to keep my crew safe, all of the transportation and the travel and the timing between all of these 10 projects, so that while we were full on in either preparation or filming for one, I would have to be preparing for months in advance. So I worked from about 6 a.m. till midnight every day for that year, except maybe on Sundays when I would be paralysed in bed trying to recover, and if I was lucky. Anyway, at the end of that year, I was in Los Angeles, and I was staying at a beautiful house with a couple of friends of mine, and I was sleeping on an air mattress in the lounge, and I was tired. And I felt blah. And in the morning I would get up and I'd go and have a shower, and then I'd come out into this little alcove outside the bathroom where my suitcase was, and I'd get dressed, and there was a doorway into a nearby bedroom where one of my friends was, and she'd just had a baby and he was there, and she would be in bed a lot, sitting there on her laptop because she was also an entrepreneur, and she would hear me kind of going through a process with myself in the morning. Yeah, I just didn't know what to wear, because whatever I put on I felt kind of yuck. I was really critical of myself, and I was feeling, I'm too fat and I don't fit this, and I feel sort of greyness in myself and this lack of energy and beauty. Well, one morning I did that, and Michelle said, "Tiamara, what are you doing? That's enough." And I thought, yeah, what am I saying to myself? What am I doing? And that morning I got in the shower, and as I washed myself, I told myself, I'm gorgeous. Now, I didn't believe it, but I told it to myself. And I got out of that shower and I put on a beautiful dress that I just bought in LA, which I really loved. And I set out to a film market that I was going to that day, in a big fancy hotel in Santa Monica. And as I was going there, I just said, I am gorgeous. And I walked in the door into the big, huge foyer of that hotel, and immediately a man came running up to me with his camera, and he said, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. You look like Elizabeth Taylor. I have to take your picture. I'm a film director, and who are you, and what are you, and can I be your boyfriend, and blah, blah, blah." And he took photos of me, and anyway, then I went into kind of like an area where everyone was drinking champagne and networking. And I was just chatting away with people, and this guy came from right across the room, and he came over and he said, "Excuse me, but are you one of the Desperate Housewives?" And then I went outside to meet a friend of mine, and I was standing by the fountain, and okay, as it went on, like there was this whole attraction thing going on. Later in the evening, we went over to another hotel, and we were sitting around, and I was chatting with my friends, and before I knew it, there were more people there, men and people, not just men, but the whole feedback that I got all that day was how beautiful I was. I thought, wow, isn't that interesting? So I actually don't have to believe it. I just have to say it. I have to be willing to say it. I have to be humble enough to tell myself that I'm gorgeous. Because there is a kind of, if you don't yet believe it, you have to surrender yourself to planting in a new thought. So anyway, another time I started to practice with this, and I had another event that I was at in Europe. I was in France, and I was going through the same kind of crisis. I'd turned up at this event, and oh my God, I was in Cannes, and I didn't know anybody, and I had a whole agenda, a whole list of things that I wanted to fulfill on, and I thought, oh my goodness, who am I? How am I going to get these meetings that I need and meet these people that I want to meet? And luckily I spoke to my same friend, and she's like, Tiamara, you can do this, And I did the same thing. I had a shower and I just said, you know what? I am gorgeous. And I made a list of all the things that I was going to achieve that day. And I set out from where I was staying, and I went into Cannes, and I experienced immediate magnetism with everything that I wanted and needed that day. I got taken out on a boat to a beautiful island for lunch, and I hung out with friends, and I just had an amazing time, and I felt gorgeous, and I was received as gorgeous. So that's the first thing about being gorgeous, is be willing to say it. And when you do that, when you say it, just breathe it in. So just breathe the gorgeousness into your body and into your being. Because one thing I've learned is that gorgeousness is not about your physicality in a sense. It's about your radiance. It's about your emanations. So the next part of that, so okay, maybe you don't believe it, but you're now going to practice what that feels like. So you kind of breathe the gorgeousness in, like it's a liquid honey into your whole body. You breathe it in like it's a food, like it's sunlight, it's filling you up. And you just breathe that into all of your body. That's the step 2. So let yourself feel gorgeousness inside you. Okay, and then the next step is external. So do everything you can to look your best. Wash your hair, clean your body, smell good. If you're a guy, shave or whatever. And if you're a woman, put your makeup on. Find things that feel delicious to wear. Find things that express your gorgeousness. Be sharp, Don't be lazy about it. Be on the edge. Ride the edge of your beauty and everything you have to offer. And, okay, so the next step is your attitude. So find the joy space in yourself. And it's not about laughing loudly or, fake happiness. Literally find that happiness. And if you feel insecure or down or whatever, look at the sky, look at the trees, look at the flowers, talk to someone who loves you or that you love. Find any happiness factor that you can. So raise your vibration around that. And the final one is what I call be the garden. So I'll tell you another story, and it's another LA story actually. And I was with a friend, and we were at a kind of party, yeah, an industry party, put it that way. And there were lots of beautiful people there, and we were sitting and we were connecting with each other and having fun. And then at a certain point, because we'd distracted ourselves from networking or hanging out or socializing or whatever with people, she said, "Oh, do you think we should go and mingle now?" And I said, "No, let's be the garden and let the butterflies come to us." And it was really interesting. So that's what we did. We sat there and we just were like centered and happy and holding our own energy, as it were. And it was so interesting. One by one by one, people started to join us until we were the party. So I hope you've learned something today, and you can now go out at the flick of your fingers and just be gorgeous. Thanks for spending time with me, and I'll see you soon.